The following is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
The unsold mountain of Disney merchandise continues to grow, so we thought we'd go on a road trip to see just how bad it is in other parts of the country. And, well, it's as bad as you think it is. But before we get into that, you know what we gotta do first. Stealing Solo asks the greatest what-if question of all time. What if a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement? That, and a whole lot more, is answered in Stealing Solo, a Captain's Parody. Stealing Solo has been called Laugh Out Loud Funny and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs, and it's available now for a limited time only. Go to StealingSolo.com, which is powered by Shopify, so you get the reward-winning safety and security, and get yourselves a copy today. Once we sell through this limited backstock, I'm going back to the drawing board to bring you the sequel, which parodies Luke Skywalker's fall from grace, and finally the closing chapter, which I can't wait to get to, Frankenfisher, the Bride of Solo. And yes, it's exactly what you think it is. So folks, the only way to get that is go to StealingSolo.com right now, get yourselves a copy, and enjoy the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. So we start our journey way down south at Ollie's, where we're starting by finding something we've never seen before, something I wish I could have fit in my car, but I didn't have the space, an NFL Blitz arcade machine. Yeah, this thing is awesome. So I grew up playing NFL Blitz over at my friend's house on the N64. Good times. You know, it was like the NFL version of NBA Jam. And, well, I guess we're just going to take a look over at Skeletor. So folks, if you're a Masters of the Universe fan, Ollie's is the place to be for you. Ollie's is quickly becoming the place to go for toys in general. Keep watching, you'll find out. We have some Ghostbusters over here, with a slime collection. And look, Disney merchandise. We have the Thor, Stormbreaker, Thor, Jane Foster, God, Avengers Endgame figures? Let's zoom out a little, shall we? There's just a lot of Marvel already, and we're just getting started. Now down here we have a box of Ponda Baba action figures. And, well, I'm surprised nobody wants him. But up top, we got G.I. Joe, Hellboy, and more. Look at that. All Eternals. Who'd have thunk it? Now here's our first Marvel Legends section of the day. And there's our old dead-faced Chewbacca. Gotta love him. And, thing of Holdos. Gross. I have to put those down before my skin starts to burn. Yeah, whatever. Mission Fleet, and our good pal the Mandalorian and his ship that I just can't remember the name of all of a sudden. But yeah, there's the Mandalorian ship, and there's a lot of those too. Now, the Mandalorian's other sidekick is Baby Yoda, or Grogu as they call him, and you can find every version of Grogu here on the shelves because they overproduced the hell out of him. They thought he would be safe in Star Wars, and while he's a cute little character, they made too many of these things. Now we have a whole end cap of Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They didn't want to give it a section on the giant mountain of toys, so they gave it its own shelf. And as you can see, we have plenty of Nerf blasters, we have action figures of all varieties, we have that Ironheart, what is this? It's that figure set, you know, the shampoo bottle with the clip-ons. It's so dumb. We have Namor, Atuma, and behind Atuma we have Marvel Legends figures. Yes, folks. Marvel Legends Shuri, the other woman. There were a lot of Marvel Legends. I never thought I'd find Marvel Legends on clearance. Now I don't want to pay full price for them because I find them on clearance all the time, including Target. And yes, there's the Shuri copter, and it looks wonderful. Said no one ever. One day, I'm going to take one of these home and do a full review. But until then, folks, just keep on watching. Now, the toy aisle in this store is essentially the failed Disney aisle. You have Fantastic Four, Star Wars, Marvel, Shang-Chi, which is part of Marvel, but it's just a lot of crossover from Disney. Let's take a closer look at these other Last Jedi toys. We don't normally see Finn, and here we have a whole peg of Finn, so sorry, buddy. And we have the other Rey figure, so now you got more than just that one Rey that we see at the other alleys. Oh, Luke Skywalker, they did you dirty, my friend. And who else we got back here? Just all kinds of junk. Princess Leia, we have Mandalorian vintage collection figures, or vintage collection figures for those who aren't tired when they're recording this. And Shang-Chi. You will never find a more overproduced action figure that nobody wanted, ever. I mean, hell, we don't see Rose Tico anymore, but that's a story for another time. There's those Eternals disc launchers that just... It's the dumbest piece of merchandise ever, and every store has a full shelf of them. Now, this down here is new. Let's take a look at it. We have Star Wars, Hot Wheels, the Mandalorian and his ship, and Baby Yoda again. So, that's different. But it's not a surprise to see these Black Panther intermediate-sized figures. They're not quite Legends, not quite, 3 3/4 inch. There's something else. And America Chavez. Man, everyone was excited for her in the movie, yet no one cares to own her. Speaking of another character no one cares about, Miss Marvel. This is before the pandemic, so that figure's been around for quite a while. Used OK cars. Now, on the way out of this Ollie's, I just wanted to show this Squid Game coloring book. I don't think there's ever been a more pointless piece of merchandise ever produced. I liked Squid Game quite a bit, and I'm ready for Season 2, but... I don't know, maybe I'm not in the market. I mean, I am an artist after all. I do like doing things with color, but... this was just a little weird to me. Mainly because they drew each individual tooth, and the artwork is kind of unsettling, if you ask me. Let's just, stop. Besides that Mandalorian book, they had this Star Wars Search and Find, where you could find the Porgs. This is Volume 2 from The Last Jedi. Awesome, right? We had the Solo book, we have the Last Jedi book, and we have the Rise of Skywalker Search and Find book. Things that don't sell for $500, Alex, is the name of this category. Now here we are at another outlet store. This is not an Ollie's, but another cheap store, and you'll see that it's predominantly Marvel and Disney merchandise. And here you find the newest MCU film, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star-Lord. As far as the eye can see, there's some down there, there's some over there. There's Star-Lord everywhere. And again, folks, this is the newest movie that just came out a few months ago as of this recording. So it's not like it's been sitting around. And look at this, from a more recent movie, The Flash. Merchandise based on superhero content just is not, well, staying at retail and moving enough. It's overproduced, it's at clearance at the same time it's at the mainline retail chains. It's not good for anyone involved. Hey, and there's this guy from Rogue One. Yep, that guy. Of course, it wouldn't be complete without Star Wars figures. We have the Armorer from The Mandalorian. That is a first. I haven't seen her around many of these stores. But we see a lot of Black Panther. And what do we have down here? A Galaxy's Edge Trading Outpost lightsaber. Whew. Wow, exciting, right? I mean, I like lightsabers, but I'm just not the right age for these ones. Apparently no one's the right age for these because no one's buying them. So let's just put that one right back. And, you know what? Let's see what else they got. Ah, Lightyear. Of course it's here. Now the other side of the toy aisle, among the garbage, is the Star Wars mission fleet. So we have Delta, T, and Ahsoka. We have the Mandalorian and his swoop bike with Baby Yoda, of course. And up here we have this shark. Let's just swim in its mouth and die. On the way out, I saw these Halloween costumes, and if you notice, they're mostly Solo a Star Wars story. We have Kira, we have Jyn Erso from Rogue One. The Solo a Star Wars story ones are in abundance. Let's just go over here and look at this zombie for a second. It's like a zombie Karen, or a Zarin, if you will. But Solo a Star Wars story has more Halloween costumes, and they're these snow trooper things, which I know a lot of people were gushing over the action figures when they came out, but not this demographic. They didn't give a damn. And look over here, more Marvel stuff. So we're at our next Ollie's location, and you can see here that we have something we've never seen before. Solo a Star Wars Story 2-packs. We have the Han and Chewbacca from the Mud Planet, and we have Lando and his receptacle droid from the mainline movie. I didn't know if that was L337, but look, the Black Panther Wakanda Forever helmets are readily available at this Ollie's. We have mountains of Baby Yoda. We have more Transformers, Jurassic Park. You name it, it's here. And look, a whole box of Star Wars figures. Ooh, and more Last Jedi toys. More Rey, more Luke Skywalker, more Princess Leia from Return of the Jedi. Now I'm telling you this, folks. When the Reva action figure hits Ollie's, if it ever does, that will be the hardest thing to sell in history at clearance, because that shit is not selling at mainline retail. We took a stop to some stores on the way out of here, and you'll see later on. But let's focus on these X-Men. Man, the Age of Apocalypse line, talk about overproduced, being released at the wrong time, and just clogging shelves forever. Space Jesus, aka Obi-Wan Kenobi, Desert Wanderer Edition. And more Baby Yoda. If you're a Hasbro collector, it's hard to justify paying full price for anything anymore. It's probably why the HasLab's failing, but we'll talk about it in its own separate video. So the Marvel buyout continues at another portion of this store, where we have some Ronan the Accusers, we have Eric Killmonger, we have U.S. Agent, as well as Wong, the Eternals, Baron Mordo, and a whole lot more. There's a Jane Foster down there. And look at all these Eternals figures. Again, eternally on store shelves. It gets worse as you keep looking. More of her, there's some Jane Foster, and poor old Luke Skywalker with his X-Wing and Baby Yoda. It's like, Baby Yoda's in everything, and it's not getting people to buy. I guess they'll have to try something else. Now, this caught my eye in the corner, obviously, more Last Jedi stuff. But again, folks, look at the makeup of what's on shelves. It's mostly Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, or Hasbro stuff. And over here we have more Solo a Star Wars stories, 2-packs, and this one caught my eye because it wasn't at the other Ollie's. There happens to be one right here. It's that guy. What's his name? Let's look. Rebolt. Rebolt. Well, he's Riri, all right, and not Williams. Ugh, Holdo. Gross. These things are going to be stuck here till the end of time because every Ollie's has the same amalgamation of crap. And it's just not moving. Now they have a Star Wars blowout end cap. And as you can see, more Mission Fleet. Here with Darth Vader. Here with the Chicken Man, aka Gustavo Fring up there. And his TIE Fighter. And the Razor Crest, there we go. I remembered the name. I didn't have to read the box to remember the Mandalorian ship. I wonder how many people in the comments section have already tried to tell me what the name of his ship was. It's the Razor Crest. I don't know why you're reminding me. I already knew. I was testing you. How many varieties of Baby Yoda are too many? Well, they're all here. Next to another Marvel end cap featuring Thor, Lady Thor, Wenwu, Shang-Chi, Atuma, Whoever the hell Tessa Thompson plays, the dragon, the Shuricopter. All of it, including a couple Marvel Legends from the comic book line, and lots of America Chavez. Here we are, we found our Wakanda Forever on retail shelves section at this store. But here's something new. What if? Captain Carter. So we have Captain Carter the action figure. And there's the back of the box. Let's put her back. Do they have any other what if figures? No. So Hasbro sells cases of individual figures, and I guess Captain Carter wasn't that popular, so we won't see Spider-Man or Doctor Strange or anything like that. But we'll see plenty of Black Panther to go along with that Captain Carter figure. And if you look further in the back, you see more Black Panther figures. Holdo, no. I don't know what's more offensive, Holdo figures or Eternals figures. The answer is Holdo figures. I'm not even going to finish that thought. I mean, these stores have huge displays. They're getting ready for the holidays, Christmas, whatever else you might celebrate. And they just all have the same stuff. Like this Boba Fett model. And let's just keep walking around here. God, more Wakanda Forever and Thor. Thor Love and Thunder is creeping up on Wakanda Forever. You can't forget Lightyear either. Man, it's just Disney merchandise as far as the eye can see. Alright, it makes noise. Let's see if it makes any other sound. It does. And now here's a look at the backside of it to show you how deep the Wakanda Forever stuff goes. But if you'll notice, Disney Princess stuff is also an outlet, a retail outlet stuff. So it's like really cheap Disney crap across the board. It's not just the boys' merchandise, it's the girls' merchandise too. Disney has really screwed up the bed. Amber Heard style. This was another location. They have Star Wars figurines. They're not all figurines, but they're all Star Wars and they're all not selling. So we have the Mandalorian drones, because one drone isn't enough. You could fly Baby Yoda around your living room. More Mission Fleet, 2 varieties, same Mandalorian figure. You can get the hover cannon or the mud creature. And Galaxy of Creatures Stitchlings. This is the Rancor. He looks like a potato still, so at least they got that accurate. And we have a little Tauntaun. They're just so cute. I'm surprised no one bought them. We have a fucking Porg. Now, it took me a second to realize what I was looking at. It's a Mynock. Chewing on the power cables. So let's just fly his ass back there. And more Tauntauns. They're fine. They wear bibs. Now, I didn't know what the hell this thing was. I don't know. What am I missing? Is that something Jabba the Hutt ate? Tell me down in the comments below. Now, Obi-Wan is here on clearance. And it's that droid that flew around Princess Leia. Now, folks, this isn't part of that pandemic glut. This is after that stuff, and it still won't sell. Like these ugly Ewoks. Here's the next dollies, and as you notice, we're walking through the poster aisle, and we find the Force Awakens poster. Next to Spider-Man. Poor Spidey. Hey, at least Finn's full-sized on this one. So this is a non-transforming Transformer. I may or may not have purchased the Optimus Prime version, and it just sits in a box somewhere. Now, there will be more loads of stuff delivered for Christmas, and, well, hopefully this stuff will sell so they can get new stuff in. You wouldn't want Disney merchandise to ruin Christmas again, would you? I know I wouldn't. It's just a joke at this point to see Dead-Eyed Chewbacca next to C-3PO and Moff Gideon. Now, I haven't seen that Black Panther toy at many other Ollies, but there it is. And here are just more cases of Marvel Legends. And our old pal, Namor. See you later, Namor. We're gonna go talk to Thor. And here's Thor's mighty hammer, Mjolnir, and Stormbreaker, and more of the Wakanda Forever on store shelves gauntlets. Another aisle full of just Disney stuff everywhere, and none of it full price. Jyn Erso, Dr. Evazan, C-3PO, all there next to Moff Gideon, White Tiger, America Chavez, and the Eternals. I hope Disney sees these videos and stops producing anything with these characters moving forward. There's another show from Disney, Tomorrowland. That was a flop. It was not very good either. Now, Spider-Man has these weird little launcher toys like the Eternals discs, but it makes sense for Spider-Man since in the movie he has web shooters that do all this extra shit. Eternals disc launchers, I just don't get it. Just like I don't get these Shang-Chi toys, but then again, nobody gets them because they're still here, available to buy. Folks, why aren't you buying Shang-Chi? Let me know down in the comments below. I'd love to read what you have to say about that. Why am I not buying it? Because I don't like Shang-Chi. But I like it more than I like Vice Admiral Holdo. Let's just put you down right there, woman. Jyn Erso. Another Holdo to get out the way. More Ronan the Accuser. More Eternals. And here's a new edition. Cassian Andor. The Black Series edition of Cassian Andor. They got quite a few of them. So that's what it says on the back. And how much is this little guy? Let's see. He looks okay. They've made better Cassian Andors. He's a whopping $10 for that one? No, I'll pass. These are all Shang-Chi toys. That's all I need to say. Let's see what Shang-Chi figure this is, shall we? Ah, it's Wenwu. Awesome. His father, Wenwu. Look at that face. So stern, so serious, so not going home. Man, I wanted to pick up Skeletor. Because it's Skeletor, and Skeletor is pretty cool looking. I wish regularly priced Marvel Legends were $17.99. I'd probably buy more, but they're closer to $27.99 now. Hasbro, you're just gouging the customers. Now, these Eternals figures are still here on shelves, and you gotta remember this stuff, folks. People didn't buy it, it made it to this store, and people still aren't buying it. Like, when this Star Wars Rogue One Millennium Falcon model was released, it's just the same toy that was in the Force Awakens box. This is pre-pandemic, meaning it was purchased, retail couldn't sell it, so they sold it to secondary retail chains, and they still can't sell it. There are no tertiary retail chains, there's just the dumpster and the processor that turns it back into raw materials. Now, I went into some regular retail on the way home just to see what's out there in the world, and there's still a lot of Revas. Honestly, folks, what I'm trying to do here is show you what's going to be on shelves at Ollie's next season. So this is a little bit of a preview video from WCBS. Remember, folks, there's a lot of BS on the internet, none of it world class, except for us. So subscribe to this channel for more content all the time. But there's Lightyear still on shelves, there's other random Disney crap still on shelves. It's just all going to end up at Ollie's one day. And here was one more location. Again, you have a few new things, but you can tell what's going to be there. Lando is going to be there. Ahsoka will eventually be there. She's already been there from the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian line, so you can find her soon. You can find those little ships. You'll find the chick from Andor. You'll find it all, including Lando Calrissian, which is quite sad, but hey, they might have overproduced him. So one last look at this before we head out. So folks, what did you think of today's video? Like I said, I went on a special road trip. I got up at the crack of dawn, drove a couple 100 miles south, hit up Somalis, had a good breakfast at Cracker Barrel, and then made this wonderful video for each and every one of you. So folks, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button to let YouTube know that you enjoy this content, because the algorithm has changed, and that's not just a bunch of YouTubers trying to complain. You know, we're trying to do what we do, and we need your help, folks, in each and every way that we can get it. So hitting that thumbs up button definitely is a good start. If you want a little more from WCBS, well, make sure you're subscribed to check out our back catalog of content. But if you want something physical, something tangible, something that you can take home and show around, well, get yourself a copy of Stealing Solo. People love Stealing Solo. It's the Star Wars parody that people are calling laugh out loud funny, and the greatest Star Wars parody since Spaceballs. It tells the story of a group of disgruntled Star Wars fans who kidnap Harrison Ford and force him to remake Star Wars in their basement. You can get that from stealingsolo.com. The website is powered by Shopify, so you get their award-winning safety and security, and books are shipped out all the time. So folks, get yourself a copy, go over to social media, follow us on all of our platforms, and let us know what you think of Stealing Solo. On the live shows on Tuesdays and Thursday nights, we get a lot of positivity in the chat, and it was called a laugh riot the other night, so thank you to everybody who reads the book. It's very satisfying to hear that the audience enjoys my work, and folks, there's a lot more coming. So be on the lookout for Wokebusters, more YouTube videos, and a whole lot more. 2024 is going to be a crazy year for WCBS because 2023 has been a pretty damn good year, and we're on our way back to the top. So folks, I'll be back next time with more. Thank you for watching. But in the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.